Hi everybody. As you'll probably be aware, especially if you watch the Young Turks, my hometown not long ago made international fame, specifically for the nightclub Rosie's, which is probably one of the only nightclubs in the town. And if you watched the hangout I did with Extremely Boring on Saturday, I mean, if you watched all 4 hours of it, good for you. I did mention a time I've been attacked in a nightclub by someone, and this is the very nightclub. It wasn't a serious attack or anything, nothing like that, but this should give you an idea of the kind of nightclub that awards people first prize in a fancy dress competition for dressing as the Twin Towers. And yes, that's the town I live in, in case anyone didn't know. I'm not going to post this video to Facebook. I wasn't really going to bother making a video on it, but then I thought that when it's actually become international, when the Young Turks are commenting on it as well, maybe it's worth doing a video. I'm not posting it to my Facebook because I've already heard everyone's opinions about this. Practically everyone in my hometown has had an opinion on this, ranging from people who think it's fucking sick and disgusting, which is kind of where I fall in, or there's people who just don't see a problem with it. And my advice to those people is, if you can't see the problem, try looking a bit harder. But I just wondered, like, when did we become okay with this kind of humour? You know, this isn't just... It's not that this is offensive humour. It's the assumption that just because it's offensive, it automatically qualifies as humour. That we assume just because... You know, sometimes humour can be close to the bone, can't it? It can be just that bit offensive, just that little bit too outside the realms of what's considered acceptable, and it kind of can add to the humour, can't it? Can add a bit of shock value to the weight of the humour. It just helps it pack a little bit of a punch. But I think there's a difference between that and when something, we just assume because something's offensive or shocking, then it automatically qualifies as humour. Because it just doesn't. The people I've spoken to have, you know, the older they are, the more appalled they seem to be by this. It's, as we go younger, with a few exceptions, as we go younger, we seem to find more people who find this acceptable. It doesn't suddenly become... I'm not saying that everyone who's young finds it acceptable, but they find it... There seems to be more people who find it acceptable in that age bracket. And I can't imagine, if anyone out there who's older wants to correct me if I'm wrong, I can't imagine, you know, people during like the Second World War, for example. I'm thinking about Remembrance Day here, it hasn't given that it's just recently gone. I can't imagine these sort of jokes having been made at that time by those sort of people. I think maybe we had a bit more decency then. You know, I get humour, even like a bit of edgy humour. I'm not really into dark humour, but you know, when did we become okay with this? How have we just sort of become so blinkered to how ridiculous and offensive this sort of thing is? I mean, the other... Oh God. The other thing people were saying was... Some people have been saying that they keep saying, I've seen worse than this. I think, well, that's not really the point, is it? Just because you've seen something worse doesn't mean this is okay. You know, if you've got a black eye, I'll give you some sympathy. I'm not going to start going on about all the worst injuries I've seen. You know, I'll give you a bit of sympathy, give you a bit of help, get you an ice pack. Oh God. But the other thing, some people seem to be more mourning the fact that these girls are probably going to be expelled from Chester Uni. I can't say I feel sorry for them, though. People seem to be more in mourning about that than all the offence and hurt they've caused. And I think, well, when you go to any academic institution, you will have been told quite clearly that you are representing the institution, and your behaviour outside of it while you're staying in the city will reflect on that. You know, it reflects on the institution. You know, I mean, the whole point of having a university degree at one point was it's sort of a way of proving that you're not a fucking moron. You're the sort of person who can actually get a fucking degree. And when you're this stupid that you actually think that this sort of thing is okay, that mocking 9/11 is okay, you know, in a public nightclub, then you know, you're kind of an idiot, aren't you? You're not really, you know, we need to have a serious look at who at higher education. You know, are people who are higher educated actually all that intelligent? I mean, I've always thought I'm not as impressed by university degrees as some people are. It's not to say I'm not impressed by them at all. I'm sure they take a lot of hard work, but you know, these are supposed to be smart people. That's the whole point, isn't it? These are supposed to be intelligent people who we can rely on to, to sort of run the future world. These are the future leaders of the world, or people who are going to be running the world. And it's kind of worrying when they don't display a great amount of intelligence. God, just losing my train of thought. I haven't been to Rosie's for a long time, and I'm not planning to go again. In there I've been attacked twice, not seriously, but still. You know, I've been attacked twice. I've had my coat stolen once. I had a DVD stolen once. I remember the DJ in there on the gay floor making a joke about Madeleine McCann over the PA. You just think, what the fuck is wrong with these people? You know, I mean, it's got a reputation for being a shithole. It now has an international reputation for being a shithole. I do find that funny. That's the one funny thing about this whole situation, that somewhere as shitty as Rosie's is now famous for it on an international scale. That's the one sort of slight silver lining to this cloud, I think. But anyway, I am going to head home now. People in this car park are staring at me. And I'm going to work on some proper videos this evening. Ones that aren't just me talking to my camera, but some ones that involve a bit of drawing, some work and some scripts and stuff like that. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.